Have you ever stared at the spirals of a seashell or listened to a perfectly resolved chord progression and felt a sudden, overwhelming sense of awe? It feels like touching the divine. That feeling usually hits hardest when we're exhausted. We sense that the daily grind of traffic, bills, and stress is flawed, so we look for an exit. We turn to sacred geometry, sound healing, and New Age mysticism, hoping these higher patterns offer a way out. But we might be misinterpreting this awe. There is a possibility that these sacred systems are actually camouflaging something much darker. Take the ultimate mantra of the modern spiritual seeker. We love to quote Nikola Tesla. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Tesla was mapping the mechanical, physical universe. His work describes the literal engine of reality, providing technical specifications for the material world rather than a pathway to a divine source. The frequencies, the vibrations, and the sacred patterns we worship as spiritual liberation are the literal engineering specs of our cosmic prison. To understand the trap, we have to split reality into two distinct layers: the visible interface we interact with every day, and the hidden rule set that quietly governs it all. The ancient Gnostics called the visible interface Gaea. This is the earth field. It is the lovable, sensory display of existence. The lush forests, the changing seasons, the warmth of the sun, and the physical bodies of the people we care about. But underneath Gaea lies the cosmos. In this context, cosmos is the invisible grammar dictating how the visible world operates. It is a closed system defined by entropy, time, debt, relentless decay, and eventual death. If the world were purely horrific, we would immediately recoil. Instead, we experience a condition known as shining darkness. The cosmic system binds us to it through enchantment, leading us to mistake the beauty of the arrangement for the ultimate truth. The system maintains this illusion through cycles. Spring returns after winter. A new empire rises from the ashes of the old. We see these motions and assume we are witnessing transformation, while the underlying logic of extraction, the constant need to consume energy to survive, never wavers. The beauty of the visible world is aesthetic camouflage. It is designed to make you fall in love with the exact thermodynamic engine that is slowly consuming you. If the visible world is a trap, what is the actual function of the highest aesthetic structures we pursue, like sacred geometry and harmonious music? Geometry literally translates to earth measurement, G-metron. To measure something is to define exactly where it stops. In this framework, every line drawn is a limit, and every shape is an enclosure. It is the formal science of drawing boundaries. No matter how mathematically perfect a shape is, like the golden ratio, it is simply visual proof that the universe requires strict division and limitation to operate. Music operates on the exact same grammar of limitation. Instead of dividing physical space, it draws boundaries around time and sequence. To organize musical information, a song requires a fixed beginning and a definitive end. The sound itself only exists through physical friction, heavy matter displacing air molecules as the sequence pushes through time. These aesthetic structures are the cleanest, most flawless disclosures of the prison's rules. They reveal how elegant the system can be when its relations are cleanly ordered. When seekers worship sacred math or tune their lives to healing frequencies, they are staring directly at the wireframe of a burning house and calling it divine just because the architecture is balanced. The macro laws of the universe operate just as strictly at the micro level of our own biology and psychology. Ancient texts call this the counterfeit spirit. It is the entropic rule set of the cosmic prison, internalized as your identity. The requirement to eat, sleep, and defend your status is the exact same cosmic grammar of decay and maintenance operating inside your mind. This exposes the ultimate existential trap. The very self that you are trying to save through spirituality is constructed entirely from the rules of the cage. You cannot achieve liberation by attempting to optimize or elevate an identity that was built by the prison's thermodynamic code. Breaking this cycle requires a process called metanoia. This is a profound cognitive reorientation, a deliberate unseeing of the accepted reality. This realization does not require nihilism or an artificial hatred for natural beauty. The beauty is real, but it is not ultimate. Metanoia is the ability to experience the beautiful arrangement of the world while refusing to kneel to it as a savior. You can admire the symmetry without worshiping the math. This clear state is called Gnostic sobriety. It is a clear-eyed detachment, no longer intoxicated by shiny objects, the invisible healing frequencies, or the geometry of the simulation. True liberation begins in the exact moment you finally see the bars of the cage for what they are, and you stop romanticizing the trap.